to riff those tracks. Never pick tracks where the riffs are missing. Why you always gotta pick RiffTrax? It's your lucky day, it's time for RiffTrax.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to episode 52 of Every RiffTrax Short Reviewed, where I take 5 RiffTrax shorts in chronological order, review them, and give them a rating between 1 and 5, with the points being good, great, awesome, fantastic, and spectacular, because I don't think a bad RiffTrax short exists. Hope you're hungry, because we're going to be having some Thanksgiving in July today, as well as witnessing a messed up marriage, learning about shapes even more rudimentary than the typical ACI short, and a superhero lamer than Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam. So let's dive right into it with episode 52 of Every RiffTrax Short Reviewed. Number 256, Measuring Man, from November 6th, 2015.
2 pints of cream.
Ooh, better make him happy or he'll wish you into the cornfield.
We open up really strong this episode with one of the lamest concepts for an educational short we may have seen yet. Originally riffed during the Miami Connection live show, this short is about teaching kids how to measure, but that sounds so boring on its own, doesn't it? Well, that's where the local milkman comes in. You know, the totally common job we still see flourishing today. The milkman sees that little Tommy is struggling with measurements, and this looks like a job for Measuring Man. And no, you are not hallucinating. Coronet thought if you take a milkman and dress him up like Superman, kids would be more interested in learning about measurements. It also makes it way less suspicious when said knockoff kidnaps the child and takes them to another dimension.
Coronet Films. Do we have to teach you to do everything? Jeez.
Tommy, breakfast is ready.
Breakfast, please. Those eggs are runny.
Good morning, Bob.
2 pounds of butter. 2 pints of cream. What's the matter, Tommy?
Our arteries, my God, they're doomed.
Yes, but we're having this in school. Quarts, and gallons, and pounds, and I still don't understand it.
Tommy was not given scissors until he was 18.
This looks like a job for
An average math teacher.
Measuring Man.
Or that, I guess.
It can't be. It's Measuring Man.
Yes,
You are,
yes indeed,
Tommy.
ladies and gentlemen. You are seeing
I
what
hear
you
you're having
think
some
you're
trouble
seeing.
understanding measuring. Measuring, Tommy, is comparing.
Comparing? God, no, Tommy,
I
run!
think I can show you what...
Why?
Once we got to measuring land, I asked Tommy how big he was.
Oh, God, someone call the police!
He was sure to something else. Say, to a rabbit. He was big.
Good Lord, Measuring Man can create life?
It doesn't mean...
Somehow, while I can guarantee Cornet's plan here is 100% wrong and no other child would care about this guy, Tommy is enthralled with this new hero and latches onto every word. Measuring Man, who doubles as the narrator, teaches Tommy about height and how all units of measurement are standardized. But he doesn't really give Tommy a good example about how to read those units. Like, he doesn't show how you actually take a yardstick and use it, or show Tommy how to use his mother's measuring cups and put any of it into practice. It's no more hands-on than his school, I'm sure. Tommy just takes Measuring Man at his word for everything, and the children at home are meant to do the same. We have had way less ridiculous shorts that have taught us way more within the RiffTrax catalog.
But how tall was that?
And what's that long sparkly thing on Measuring Man's belt?
Measuring units have to be the same sort of thing. So, we decided to use apples.
Oh, sure, apples never vary in shape or size.
Would a baseball bat be better?
Let me save you some time. No!
I asked him to measure his height with a different bat.
I like to shame him instead of just explaining basic concepts.
1, it's the same size as all the other standard yards. 3 feet long.
Or about 1 Michael J. Fox.
And every foot ruler has 12 of these inch marks on it.
And some of that worthless
Tommy
European
wanted to know
gibberish.
who first said how long a foot should be? Well, the answer to that is the government.
Which is housed in this single building surrounded by trees.
A long time ago, the government decides the other standard units we use all the time.
Does the government also spy on us?
Buy,
All the time, Tommy. All the time.
Where Tommy seemed to be catching on to the idea of standard units. And when I showed him my thermometer,
Measuring
he
man,
knew
please.
right away that she set the heat at a certain temperature.
After that, I showed your mom my thermometer, too.
Standard units.
Measuring man has to be
And
stopped.
his mother used a clock if pants and shirts came in only one size.
Measuring man, you are a stone freak. I don't think I want to be around you anymore.
And I could see he understood measurement a little bit better now.
Oh, now he's showing him his cup.
So, bye.
Kid, he delivers milk and talks about measurement. He is not cool.
This short's concept is as stupid as the hero's costume, but the riffs are to die for, so this one gets a 4.5 out of 5.
How could we find out how tall he was?
Or why Measuring Land was so unbelievably crappy.
Number 257, Dining Together from November 25th, 2015.
You would know this is a holiday plate.
That candle's more appetizing than anything on it.
And now the first of 2 Thanksgiving-themed shorts today, and this is definitely the weaker of the 2. Not riff-wise, just in the short's actual construction. The black and white feature is solely narrated with a very basic piano score going on in the background. A family prepares to host the biggest feast of the year for themselves and a couple of friends. The turkey gets basted, the table is set meticulously, and everyone is hungry. The friends arrive, empty-handed, I might add, and everyone settles in to eat. Soup is eaten very carefully and politely, as the narrator insists it must be, before the main course is finally presented.
Dining together. See our companion piece, standing alone eating a lean cuisine over the kitchen sink.
Helping make ready a celebration is part of the fun.
Inhaling the petroleum distillate fumes from the silver polish is most of it.
I guess it's also staring stupidly at Fruit Day.
And the smell of turkey.
A weird, scrawny turkey with some sort of congenital bone disease.
Thanksgiving is a Native American word meaning obscenely tall candles.
Oh, God, classes. Sick of working all day. Can't stand this holiday. What a glorious Thanksgiving Day!
It is good to have friends like to come to our home.
Welcome. Let me just take all the pies and side dishes that you brought. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't bring anything at all. Why don't you come in and stuff yourself with my food?
Sounds a little personal, Mike.
We are thankful for our home and our happy meal.
Whoa, don't overdo it on the Thanksgiving prayer there, Jonathan Edwards.
We have good and how to use a spoon in eating soup easily without noise.
Oh, Lord, I thank you that I wasn't taken by the diphtheria outbreak that took half the town, but mostly that I know how to properly eat soup.
Dad tries to slice the turkey. Emphasis on the word tries here. In this guy's defense, perhaps he was just an actor, maybe even an average man whose family got chosen to be featured here for some reason. But my gosh, does he butcher that bird. It's pretty dang funny that they chose to use these takes instead of cutting them out, or, geez, they could have even used a body double for goodness sake. Anyway, the guests all eat pleasantly and unemotionally until it's time for dessert to be brought out. And I get that this short is super old and in black and white. No food's gonna look too appetizing under these parameters. But come on, this dessert looks like a pile of mud. And the family dinner ends as benign and pleasant as it started.
It just wouldn't be Thanksgiving without turkey.
Have a deathly allergy to turkey? Too bad! Eat your way through the anaphylactic shock.
We know, and Father knows how to carve it.
Clearly, just expert.
It is fine to know how to sit up and watch it being carved.
Yeah, when the only other option is to silently eat soup, I guess it does qualify as a thrill.
Why not just use the blender at this point?
Can you let me off the hook, Ma? But the string beans taste like failure.
Good table manners keep our meals happy meals, and those who eat with us happy.
So we're all smothered under a 10-ton blanket of happiness.
This is making me, and those who eat with me, Happy.
We like to offer help, or to help when asked.
It makes us glad, which in turn can lead to happiness.
It is nice to talk with others
If you can get a word in edgewise.
and to know when to wait and listen.
So she gets out of the hospital on Monday, yes. Yes, dear?
Daddy said you were easy. What does that mean?
Well, what I said was Now we burn down the lives we've made, sweetie.
Oh, boy.
Ah, yes, Mother's famous holiday pile of bear.
And to have so much in our home to make holiday celebrations happy.
It is pleasant to be happy because it increases our amount of gladness.
This short is fantastically bland, but once again, Mike, Kevin, and Bill save the day, turning this piece of wheat toast into a feast for our funny bones, and it gets a 4.5 out of 5.
After dinner, they're excited to see that brand new parade float of William McKinley.
Number 258, A Day of Thanksgiving from November 25th, 2015.
Turkey or no turkey, we've still got all the freedoms and privileges the Pilgrims gave us. And out of those privileges have come a lot of things. Things the Pilgrims never even dreamed of.
Like sexy pilgrim Halloween costumes.
And here is our second Thanksgiving tale of the episode. We open with a cute little family consisting of a pair of parents and 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. The children are all delightedly discussing the big holiday tomorrow, imagining the incredible dinner their mother will fix. Unfortunately, Mother comes in to inform them that they can't afford a turkey this year. She says they'll still have lots of yummy food to eat, but just not a turkey. Now, last time I watched this on Twitch with you guys, we looked this up, and this doesn't make any sense. If they have money for sides, they absolutely should have money for a turkey. Turkey's equated to less than $20 of today's money when the short was made. They're too poor for that, but not all the indulgent sides? That doesn't make any sense. And that's coming from someone whose family has been pretty damn destitute over the holidays before. While the kids are complaining, Father comes in and tells them they need to make the best of it, and to be grateful for the awesome foods that they will have, and to be thinking about all they have instead of what they're missing out on.
Ah, Thanksgiving carols. I remember going door to door, singing carols in exchange for turkey.
Thanksgiving carols?
Oh yeah, sure. Songs like Please Give Us Some Turkey and Hungry, Anything Helps.
So you were begging.
Correction, Bill. Sometimes we just break in and take it.
A colorful past, Kevin.
Yes. Irish, you know.
I keep thinking about today, Thanksgiving Day.
Whether Miles Standish would have liked me.
We Johnsons had a good thing. My kids, Dick and Tommy and Susan, were all home from school. And of course, Mother and the baby were there.
Lazy baby's still between jobs.
Mine were living tomorrow, right along with...
Turkey and dressing and pie and cake.
And fruit salad and whipped
Fruit
cream,
salad?
cranberries,
Call yourself a
cheese.
glutton, sir?
Hardly way. Me too.
We've had a lot of expenses this month, and, well, your father and I thought that...
Well, since lots of countries are eating horse these days...
The truth of the matter is, I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. We'll have plenty to eat, but...
It may taste a little sawdusty.
Get along without turkey.
Well, what's been going on around here? What's the matter with everybody anyway?
Mom says we're not going to have any Thanksgiving. No turkey, no good thing.
A fat lot we're going to have to be thankful for.
Dick, you're going to die in Korea.
And everybody else in the block's going to have it this year.
Even David and Hazel's family.
Yes, you've got the idea, but it isn't something you can write down like a grocery list.
Not that we'll need one of those anytime soon.
Well, that's how it got started. The Johnsons didn't have any turkey. And the kids...
Well, they found a better family.
The big day arrives, and we see all the children take their father's advice to heart. We get to hear all of their inner monologues and what they're most thankful for. From having plenty of food on the table, other than turkey, I guess, to having fun hobbies, to playing with friends, to getting a public education. Even Mother and Father are thankful for their lives, even though their thankfulness mostly comes from all the hard work they do. Mother takes care of the family, and Father works as a gas jockey, much like the milkman earlier, a thriving industry to this day. Father also mentions that he's happy that in America we don't have to worry about political gangsters busting into our homes. Like, where did that come from, Dad?
And that this was the time to think about it. Tom was first.
He staged a coup and was appointed new dad.
Getting plenty. Like Mom says, I'm hungry all the time anyway, and if I didn't live in a country where there's plenty to go around, golly.
I'd serve whatever warlord kept me fed.
And I'm thankful,
And it's free with only a library card.
Families who can't afford turkey are garbage. Hey!
I'm glad to be able to go to Sunday school or go to any church I want, any Sunday.
Lousy little church hopper. Commit!
For being able to get an education. For living where schools, all schools, open their doors to a guy who wants to learn.
Despite my disturbing criminal record.
Studied, and she's too little even to tell us the things that make her happy. But we can tell, and maybe she's thinking about them now.
Maybe she's thinking Mom could have spent more than $3 on her first haircut.
And it seems she's always working, cooking, ironing, tending children, daylight to dark. What does she have to be thankful for?
Uh-oh, coming up empty on this one.
I'm thankful for all the things our American system makes possible for the Smiths and the Browns and the Johnsons.
But not so much the Espositos, Yangs, or Wallensteins.
We've got the right to talk about anything we want to. The Parent-Teacher Project, the new mayor, or Jane Jones' hat.
Hey, at least Jane Jones could afford turkey, jerk.
I'm truly thankful for the peace of mind that Dad's job brings.
And the degrading hat they make him wear.
Even though that there are evenings and Sundays and vacations when we can all be together.
And that we live in a decade where a gas jockey's salary is enough for a family of 6.
For what America means, thankful for the thing that makes this house our home. The happiness here.
Our crippling popcorn addiction.
Or on Christmas morning, for knowing that a knock on our door means nothing to fear. A friend calling, or maybe a bill collector, or a kid selling magazines.
Let's go back to bill collector.
But you can count on one thing. It's not going to be some political gangster coming to drag one of us off to jail because we believe in freedom.
Yeah, common Thanksgiving concern, sure.
Amen.
Within minutes, their doors and windows were kicked in by political gangsters.
Yeah, see? Vote for Adlai Stevenson, see? Yeah.
Is that how political gangsters talk?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, see?
The short is a good exercise in being thankful, even if the circumstances surrounding this gratefulness don't make much sense. And this one gets a 5 out of 5.
The unity we've got here in the Johnson family will someday spread to men and nations throughout the world.
Men and nations who probably have all the turkey they want.
We are truly...
Number 259, Marriage is a Partnership, from January 8th, 2016.
Of course, our marriage had its ups and downs.
Like when I heard about Pete's secret other family.
But I guess we had worked
would
out
be a
pretty
down.
good adjustments on affection.
And here we're joined by Bridget and Mary Jo for this little playlet about marriage.
Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today.
This story starts with us meeting our main players, husband Pete and wife Dottie, who's the one narrating, and we're seeing things from her perspective. The couple starts their wedded bliss on the lower floor of Pete's mom's house, which will obviously cause no conflict whatsoever. The couple seems to be blissfully in love, but real life hits real fast. Pete works in the same factory as Dottie's dad, and the couple agreed she would quit her job to look after the home. Now, back in the 1950s, this happened all the time, I'm sure, but as long as Pete brings in enough money for them, that's fine if they agree. The problem is they do struggle a bit financially, so the setup isn't great. They do try to help each other out at home still, Dottie allowing Pete to vent to her, and Pete encouraging Dottie and showing that he appreciates her. They start to fall into a rhythm until, who could have guessed, the mother-in-law starts overstepping her bounds.
Can't turn back.
You just did.
Gee, we got a good start.
The skipper was there and everything.
From a wonderful... Pete's mother owned a 2-family house.
Hi!
And lived upstairs. And we were going to live downstairs.
Uh-oh.
I still haven't forgiven Daddy for not telling me about Pete.
I guess he was saving him for himself.
Well, we had to unpack. And we were both so tired.
And so from Wisconsin.
Duchess, madam, here is thy royal throne.
Oh, theater people.
Royal splendor, while I shall get thee thy royal cup of coffee.
Oh, theater people.
Oh, ick.
Oh, Pete. We're going to be so happy together.
Let's just settle for non-murderous together.
And Pete was so proud of me. Cooking our first married meal.
Does toast count as cooking?
Suddenly, it was time for Pete to go to work.
And he never came back.
We had decided I should quit my job when we married. Maybe I should say quit my paycheck. I still had a job.
Having sex with Pete.
The weeks went by, but there were satisfactions in being a married pair.
I got to open
It
envelopes.
was our partnership, but we decided together how Pete's salary would be spent. Maybe we didn't always agree, but we decided together.
Okay, I won't eat this week.
So Pete's contributions to my sense of accomplishment.
I opened a can of frosting.
I had a lot to learn about cooking. I tried to learn about Pete's job. Sometimes I shared his enthusiasms. And there were times when I had to help absorb his frustrations.
Wow. What does that mean?
Partnership. Wonder who I should get for a fourth.
How about Marilyn Monroe?
Mother plays a good game of bridge.
Yes, but
I hate her.
she insisted on bringing a fancy cake.
Since you don't know how to bake. Oh, is that what you're wearing? Well, I see you didn't have time to clean. That's all right.
A good party.
It was one thing to be invited to bridge, but suddenly Pete's mom is all over the place, constantly nitpicking Dottie and how she cares for the home. What makes things worse is that Pete starts to visit his mother upstairs more and more often and for longer periods of time. Like, at least invite your new wife to visit too instead of leaving her alone all evening, right? We see that Dottie has a great relationship with her own parents that's nowhere near as weird as Pete's relationship with his mom. Anytime Dottie does try to discuss the situation with Pete, he just gets salty about her family, because that's how a healthy conversation with your spouse works. And speaking of unhealthy convos with your wife, Pete comes home from work one day and starts complaining about her dad's effect on their marriage. Remember, Pete works in the same place, and her dad helped him get a frigging promotion. But no. Instead of being grateful, he's an ass, saying her dad has overstepped boundaries. Not the mom they live with, the dad that got him a better job. So Pete decides they should move out of town so he can pursue a job offer at a different chapter of the company, and somehow Dottie agrees to this without hesitation, saying she's been stupid. I'm sorry, this amount of emotional distance and complete delusion from the husband seems like grounds for separation to me.
Oh, it wasn't all bad. Pete's mother and I had good times together.
Shoplifting.
Shopping for one afternoon. Pete stopped in upstairs.
Oh, no.
To deliver a package his mother had asked.
Deliver a package?
And it turned into a habit. To drop into his mother's on his way from work 2 or 3 times a week.
Pete's own mom has got it going on.
Mother says hi.
It seemed I tried to tell Pete how I felt.
It's just that hate. He'd
just get sore and make some crack about my family.
Stupid Capulets.
I thought my family, Dad and I, were real pals. We talked things over. About Pete's mother, I mean.
She's a bee, all right.
Understand my serving liver and learning to enjoy it because Pete liked it so much.
Guess whose liver it is?
Big things. And remembering the anniversary of our engagement. With tickets to a special show he knew I'd been wanting to see.
Gone Girl on Ice.
Married life. Well, it was Pete's mother.
Oh,
it wasn't.
Well, it's a surprise to see you up this early.
Or even told me how to do things.
I got a surprise in today's mail.
A Domino's magnet.
An offer of another job. Wonderful job. But way over in Central City.
Oh. Central City?
Goodness.
Let's talk it over. Do something really decisive about the influence of your parents on our marriage.
Oh, how about something decisive about the influence of that tie? Look at it.
Listen,
what?
Honey, before you get mad. Sure he has, dear. I know. Your dad's been swell.
But he eats off my lunch tray.
Well, when I got that promotion in December, you said how grand it was of your dad to help. I mean, praising me to the boss and all.
Hey, Mary Jo, one more time I get caught up in the drama.
I know.
So his mom crashes her parties, bosses her around, and that's okay.
Yep.
But her dad gets him a promotion, and so he wants to move. Do I have that right?
You have got that
I want
right,
you to appreciate
Bridget.
Mom.
And now she has to be brought to heel, apparently.
Apparently.
Darling, how could I have been so stupid?
Well, you're low IQ, Dottie.
Troubles to your folks.
I could see that I'd been on the defensive. I hadn't understood that a widow might sort of need a man around the house.
But that was the creepy part.
I know.
How do you feel about Central City, hon?
I know Mom would love it.
I would like to get away to a new job.
Hi, where have you been?
Talking to the conductor, trying to get Pullman accommodations. And I got them.
Oh, gee, Pete, you're thoughtful.
Yeah, thoughtful. The guy wants to go through a tunnel.
I know we'll work things out together.
Yes, working it out together by doing whatever Pete's employer wants.
While the ending is beyond frustrating, the riffs are hilarious as usual from our ladies, and this entry gets a 5 out of 5.
That evening,
I burned the
after
place
supper,
to the ground.
I thought the time seemed ripe to talk to Pete.
Number 260, Shapes We Live With, from January 15th, 2016.
Of the many objects you see and use...
Yes, I'm constantly using bowling trophies and old-timey model cars.
Shapes. Everything has a shape. I suppose we live with those shapes because we have to. Because, to reiterate, everything on planet Earth and beyond consists of a shape. Each shape has a name and basic function. And that's about it. That's the whole short. We learn about spheres and cylinders, but just that. We only learn the shape and where we might see it in our real lives. Nothing else. Like, my gosh, the crafts may have been crappy and made out of literal trash, but at least ACI taught us how to build things with those cylinders.
Everything we see has a shape.
Whoa, right away with the swearing.
Well, maybe he was going to say shaft, but decided to shut his mouth.
Or square, like the box that the Jack-in-the-Box hides in.
Or terror-shaped, like this clown's face.
Or that it is a ball.
With 2 eyes and no mouth, so it can't scream.
You can roll a sphere in any direction.
And the eyes will still stare at you.
While others are quite hard.
The short is just a catalog of all the ways people wasted time before Netflix.
Yep, there was a lot of sphere binging back in the 70s.
Some of the beads your sister or your mother wear may be spheres.
To find out, jerk them sharply from her neck. See if they roll.
Do you know any of their names?
Narrator's like a more condescending Alex Trebek.
How is it like a sphere?
This is like Sesame Street if they replaced all the friendly people in Muppets with Bob's arm.
How is it different from a sphere?
And the sphere is the left?
The right
The
one.
right one, yeah.
Right
Yeah,
side.
okay.
Their ends are round.
Their ends around is also a lyric from an early draft of Baby Got Back.
Can you name the drum's shape?
Why it not go pa-rum-pa-pum-pum?
I really have nothing else I can bring to the table regarding this short itself. I mean, it doesn't even have music in the back, for crying out loud. We see cones and cubes, and I don't really know how to add to that. Even the riffs have a couple moments in this one where there's silence, and in a short that's inherently this boring, it does stand out a bit. Also, while some jokes are killer, there are more than a couple that I felt were there just to fill up the runtime. The riffs are doing some pretty heavy lifting here, but it seems to be a bit too heavy at times, unlike in some previous shape-based shorts, like the Drawing with Rectangles one or the aforementioned ACI Cylinders entry.
Its shape is called a cone.
If you didn't know that, it could also double as a dunce cap.
Are these objects cones?
Another riveting video from the makers of Is a Dog a Horse and Is the Moon a Lake? Young Madonna sees this and thinks, I will wear those on my chest someday.
These are the first steps to making your own small batch artisanal meth.
The secret is heavy cream and fresh Sudafed.
How is its shape different from the cone and the cylinder?
Answer carefully. Your employment at Arby's depends on it.
On one of its sides and see what it is like.
Yeah, take your sweet time. The audience loves watching you trace. By this point, even the classroom hamster felt its intelligence was being insulted.
A cube.
Oh, I never thought I'd say this, guys, but can we get Michael Bay in here to edit the out of this thing?
Whoa, hey, Bill, don't say something you can't take back.
I'm sorry.
We often play with things that are cubes.
Oh God, he's right. So the narrator's watching me while I play with my blocks?
If you see the glow of a cigarette in the dark outside your window, that's me.
Oh, my God.
The edges are round.
Oh, what a cute receptacle for Grandma's ashes.
You really can find everything on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
Other objects are also round.
If the clown's family won't pay up, send them the hat to let them know you mean business.
We call these objects cones.
This is from the series Films for Children with Goldfish-level short-term memory.
Are not round any.
Well, this short is totally worth checking out. It's not the first shave-based riff I'd recommend, so this one gets a 3 out of 5.
Or they may be short, like the penny.
That's the entire production budget of this short.
As always, thank you all so much for watching, and special thanks to my amazing Patreon supporters, including Kevin Nata and Isabella Summit. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe, because it really helps me out and gets my channel found by other Misties and RiffTrax fans out there. If you want to see more of me, I have a bunch of links down below to my Twitch, Discord, etc., so please be sure to check them out. And if you really enjoyed the video and are feeling extra generous today, please be sure to go check out my Patreon and look at the rewards, or go to my Twitch, and if you like what you see there, give it a sub. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.
Time for